and we'll be fine. So we're going to talk about multiple offers. Fun. It's a very popular topic as of late. So the market conditions are making it so. So we're going to discuss it. Before I get into it, is there anything that you want me to focus on, especially today, when it comes to multiple offer situations?
Guys,
No?
you got to talk. You got to talk.
Okay.
I'm watching the waiting room.
No, I have a question, but it's related to after you have the offers and you've accepted the offer, as a listing agent, what are you responsible for doing? COs, like what do you have, what are the things that we need to tackle from that perspective?
From a listing agent perspective, you've received all the offers, you've done a highest and best deadline, you've selected an offer. That's the question. What happens next?
Yep.
Okay,
we get past the turn of review and we're under contract. What do we tackle next?
You wait for them to schedule the home inspection. That's generally the first thing that comes. You make sure the additional deposit is provided in a timely manner, that they don't drag their feet with that one. And then, of course, you want to make sure that the appraisal is ordered as well.
Okay. And anything else? Do I need to do with the town? Anything that I need to order from the town?
Some towns take longer than others. You definitely want to schedule those CO appointments as soon as possible. If you have an accepted offer, if you can even do it before, I'd go ahead and get those appointments scheduled, get it out of the way, because there's one thing that I do know. If you don't have a CCO, you're not closing. So it's pretty important as a listing agent and a seller to make sure that's been obtained and you're good to go. And it's not your fault that the closing's being delayed and the buyer's upset because his rate lock just expired and he's looking for somebody to pay for the extension costs, and you don't want to do it, and nor you're obliged to, and now all of a sudden it's bad blood. And let's not get into those stories. So okay, so yes, there's a few things for you to be on top of. Let's get into it. So multiple offers. Of course, we're in an environment that is a very strong, volatile, difficult seller's market. What that means is, well, we have what's called a supply and demand issue. There is no supply and there's too much demand. And the interest rates went up a little bit. They're hovering now around 3%, yet that is not going to stop the immense demand, the wealth of buyers that are out there right now, and it's still going to continue being as crazy as it is now. So let me share my screen and let's have a chat about it. All right. No, not that one.
Uh-oh, where did my thing go?
And why can't I click on this sucker? Click.
Oh, there we go.
No. You guys can see my screen, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, for some reason I can't start the slideshow, which is fine. We'll maneuver. So for those of you that don't know me, my name is Ron Lugashi, buyer specialist at Samir Group, top team in the entire MLS for the last 5 years. I speak to a lot of buyers. I have a lot of conversations with buyers, a lot of meetings with buyers, a lot of experiences with buyers. That's how I can stand here today, share my experiences with you, and hopefully shorten your learning curve. The goal of today, as it always is to provide you value and as much of it as possible. Let's get it going with a quote. So, persistence and resilience only come from having been given the chance to work through difficult problems. You can't grow without experience. So those experiences, those are opportunities for growth. So when you have a problem, you have an issue, it's an opportunity for growth. So thank you, Mr. Tully, for that. Let's get into it. So before I get into how to strengthen our offers in multiple offer situations, how to win in multiple offer situations, how to obtain in multiple offer situations, there's something that we can do to improve our conversion in these scenarios, and it's called this: a buyer consultation. Well, how does conducting a buyer consultation improve our conversion in multiple offer situations? Please, somebody help me with this one. What makes this particular tool increase the likelihood that we're able to obtain in these type of situations? What do you guys think?
Well, first of all, no one really does them. So, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, okay. I feel like no one really does them, so that's adding value just by doing a consultation and getting clarity. You know, getting feedback, finding out motivation, clarity about what they want, what they need.
Yeah, and just I want to touch upon the fact that she's right. The majority of agents don't necessarily do this. That also means that it provides us an opportunity to be better than the rest just by doing one. So you want to go above and beyond. You want to be extraordinary, not just ordinary. All you have to do is a buyer consultation. It's that simple. So yes, of course, it helps build rapport, trust, loyalty, all that fun stuff. It allows us to set the expectations of them, of us of them, also in regards to what they're about to walk into, right? If they're more prepared about what they're walking into, it will help us improve our conversion. It increases likely they work with us and nobody else. We are going to educate them at the buying process. We're going to educate them at the market conditions. We're going to answer any questions they might have. They're going to feel a lot more comfortable, a lot more confident with this whole thing, and they'll be more prepared for what's about to happen. That's where the tool called a buyer consultation, buyer presentation, buyer discussion, whatever you want to call it, benefits us and helps us improve our conversion in obtaining in multiple offer situations. So if you're looking to do something to help your conversion, this could be it. All right, what else? Let's get into it. This is what you got, all of you came here for, right? Obtaining the deal. Let's talk about each individual topic. If you want to discuss one in particular, we'll definitely focus more on that. I can talk about this all day, but I'm going to go down the list. I'm going to speak about each individual one. We're going to spend most of our time on this particular slide. We do have some additional slides to discuss, yet this is going to be our focus, because if you're looking for the quick hits, the quick value, the quick tips, this is where it's going to be, right? So when we ask the question, well, how do we increase the likelihood we obtain in these type of situations, because the environment's kind of crazy, I'm submitting 10 offers, I'm not getting any, I'm getting frustrated. How do we improve our conversion from 1 out of 10 to 1 out of 5? How do we improve our conversion from 1 out of 5 to 1 out of 4? How do we work less, do more? All right, so let's talk about improving our conversion, obtaining the deal, winning the bid. The very top of the list, it says relationship with agent. What is so important about the relationship with the agent that will help us improve our conversion in multiple offer situations? How does that help us?
People like working with people they like. And if you call them and talk to them and say, what is the seller looking for? That will give you an advantage when submitting your offer.
Let's stop right there, Kim, because you just said something super important. It's also going to set yourself aside from the rest of the agents. And this is the tip, okay? And you heard it if you've listened to any of my lectures, or when I talk about multiple offers, it's a very simple tip. Pick up the phone. That's it. That's all you need to do to be extraordinary. Why? Kim, I'm telling you, Hugo, you just had this. You can probably speak to it as well. Kim, I'm telling you, we have listings that we get 10 offers and 20 offers and 35 offers. And the amount of agents that actually call us to obtain information is it's probably a 1 out of 10 ratio. For every 10 offers I have maybe one agent that picks up the phone and calls and asks questions. What does that tell me? It tells me that to be better than your traditional agent, all you have to do is pick up the phone.
Yep.
Ask some questions, right? So it's incredible how many agents are just, preparing the offers, click, sending it, and crossing their fingers. They're not even checking if you received it. They're not confirming receipt. They're not, checking the status. They're not doing anything. And that's just, it's crazy to think about it, but it's really the case. Your traditional agent is just not promoting their buyer's best interest, in my opinion. Because when we ask the question, well, not calling the listing agent at all, does that promote the buyer's best interest? In my eyes, no, it does not. You should be doing a little bit more, putting a little bit more energy and effort into it. And all it does is just pick up the phone, ask some questions. Now, even if you don't have a prior relationship with the agent, can you pick up the phone and try to connect with the agent, build rapport with the agent? Is that going to help you obtain?
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. So why not do it, right? Now, let's just say, I'm going to give you an example. Okay, Kim, you're the listing agent, and you got 12 offers on the table, and your top 2 offers, they're very, very comparable to each other. And one of them is an agent you don't know their lender. And the other agent is me, Kim, and we've done business together, and you know my lenders, and you know my attorneys, and you know I do what I say what I do. You know I prepare my buyers really, really well, and more importantly than anything else, you know I'm going to get this to the closing no matter what. Kim, which offer are you going to choose? Which offer are you going to suggest your sellers move forward with?
Yours.
Yeah, that's where the relationship with the agent, that's where history comes into play. I encourage you to, when you're in a transaction, have a good rapport, have a good deal, you know, have good conversations with your listing agents. Why? You do not know when the next time you're going to cross paths, and you will cross paths if you have longevity and success in this business. You will cross paths likely with that agent once more, maybe a year down the road, maybe 5 years down the road, but you will. And that experience will either help you obtain or not obtain in different type situations. So be in good rapport, be in good relationships with other agents at times. It may be even more important than the ones you have with your clients. Why? Because it makes a difference down the road. So be in good relationships with agents. It goes a long way. And if you do not know the agent, connect with the agent. All right? Ask questions, have conversations, build rapport, likability, trust, all that fun stuff. You know, push your client, obtain information. What kind of questions can we ask these agents as well? What kind of questions are you asking Mr. or Mrs. Listing Agent when you pick up the phone and talk to them?
Do you have other offers?
Yeah, it's a good question, right? And if they have other offers, they'll tell you. Actually, they have to tell you. What else?
Can they lie about that too? Because I could swear this guy was lying to me about something.
Well, it's not ethical, but technically, within the realm of possibility, yeah, of course they can. They could be lying, but ethically, they're supposed to be telling us if they have other offers, and if they don't have other offers, they should be saying they have no other offers. So, have I come across somebody that's lied before? Yeah, I've come across. I've also come across plenty of agents that, you know, they'll give you very minimal information. I've come across agents that'll give you a wealth of information. Hell, some agents, they'll just keep, if you let them talk, just let them keep talking. Just zip it and let them keep talking. They'll tell you the whole seller's life story. They'll tell you how many offers, where you need to be. They'll tell you everything. And of course, there's some that won't provide you any. But if you don't ask the question, you won't get the answer. So what kind of questions are we asking? Well, do you have any other offers, right? Are any offers above X? Other than price, what's important to your sellers? We're going to get to that in a second, but what is your seller's preferred closing date? Very simple question, very simple way to strengthen your offer. Now, I say those words because the name of the game here, everybody, is not highest offer. The name of the game is strongest offer. That's why we discuss strength of offer so often, because that is the name of the game. All right. So how do we strengthen our offer? What else? How does expertise, the second one on this list, how does expertise, how does it increase the likelihood we obtain in these type of situations? How does expertise help us out? How does it improve our conversion with our clients?
Well, if you know the market, right? If you know the town, if you know the neighborhood, it works to your advantage. Yeah,
it does. And it's a clear advantage for one major reason. You see these agents and these buyers coming into some of these open houses, and you get some of these phone calls as a listing agent. I'm telling you guys, they have no clue. They have no clue what's going on. I want Hugo, you're available to talk for a second? I want to have a conversation with you if you're available. Because you just went through this. Okay, good. So you just went through this on 4th Street, right?
Yep.
Now, without revealing any particular information, the range of offers that you got and the range of discussions you had with other agents, I'm sure there's those that had knowledge about what the environment is, what the market's like, what they need to do to strengthen offers, what they need to do in order to obtain. And then you had conversations with other agents that just had no clue.
Correct.
Without even speaking to you prior to this, I know that's a fact.
Absolutely
right?
correct.
Yeah. So tell me something. The ones that don't know what the environment is like, what the market is like, what they're walking into, does that help their clients or hurt their clients?
It hurts their clients tremendously because they are put at a disadvantage.
Yeah. And you just heard it from somebody who just went through this as a listing agent. Guys, expertise goes a long way. We cannot communicate the market conditions to our clients if we do not know the market conditions. How do we build expertise? You just see the inventory, just see what's going on, check on it daily, see how many homes are active, how quickly they're disappearing, how many offers they're getting, how above, how much above asking it's going. When we're experts in the local markets, we can then communicate it to our clients. What that actually does is it actually assists us in preparing them for what they're walking into, which also makes it so much easier for us to also obtain. You see, if we're preparing them really, really well for what's about to happen, it increases our conversion to obtain. So when we tell them, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Buyer, I know it's priced at $450. Don't look at the list price. They're getting multiple offers. It's going to end up selling at $520. They don't question us, right? They trust us. That's important. We have to be able to communicate expertise. If we don't have the ability, our clients are less likely to obtain. So all you have to do is a little bit of footwork, right? Go see some homes, check your local markets on a daily basis, see what's going on as far as activity, and just be on top of it. That will go a long way in conversion. It will give you the ability to forecast. It will give you the ability to prepare at a much higher level. Now, when we talk about concessions, things that are being given up, this is not the seller giving anything up. These are the buyers that are giving things up. What are they giving up? What's the first thing to go out the window? Inspections. Now, this is what I need you guys to know. Before I get into inspections, I need you to know that there's a difference between waiving inspection contingency, which I've actually never done, and purchasing an as-is condition. Those are two different things. Typically, if it's a cash buyer, they're just buying it cash, you might say, I'm waiving this, waiving this, waiving this, and one of them may be the inspection contingency, especially if it's it's like a builder. So there is a difference between as-is and waiving your inspection contingency. Now, the word usage you use is really, really important. Now, some buyers feel comfortable saying it, and some buyers do not feel comfortable saying it, right? The word usage that I like to use is buyer to purchase property in as-is condition, with the exception of environmental, structural, mechanical, and health issues. All right. Now, what does that mean? Do our clients know what that means? No, they do not know what that means. We have to educate them as to what that means. All right. And don't do it right before a deadline either. Right. Don't tell them, oh, the deadline's at 3 o'clock. It's 2:30. You're going to pressure them. So you have these conversations in advance and prepare them and let them know what that means. What else are we giving up? No, before I get into that, there are other word usage words that we can use to communicate that message. Some buyers just don't like saying I'm buying it as is. Okay, would it be okay if I told the listing agent, if I communicated to the listing agent, we're not going to give you a hard time in inspections? Would it be okay if I said we're not going to nickel and dime you during inspections? And then they feel a lot more comfortable with that word usage, but it makes our offer stronger, strengthens our offer if we're able to communicate those words. But they have to feel comfortable. They have to give you the okay. So for those that don't feel comfortable with just saying as is, then there's other words that we can use. You can also put limitations on costs. There's all kinds of different creative ways that we can do when it comes to inspection items. What else? What else are they giving up?
Question regarding that.
Yeah, go ahead.
Have you had clients who say they're not going to nickel and dime and they're going to buy it as is, and then when they get to inspections, then they change their mind and start wanting to ask for the seller to fix certain things or for concessions?
Yeah. So unfortunately, there are clients that, I don't know, for one reason or another, maybe it's their background, maybe it's the way they negotiate, maybe it's a little bit of a buyer's remorse, maybe they change their mind, maybe it's more of a concern than what they thought when something comes up. Obviously, we hope for clean inspections, but all of a sudden an issue comes up that may bother them. But it has happened before, and there's it's kind of a fine line with me. I like to keep a very high level of integrity. If I communicated to the listing agent that we're not going to give them a hard time during inspections, and then all of a sudden the inspection report comes back and the buyer's requesting this, and that be fixed, I don't like it. Yet I still have to promote my buyer's requests. So it's just a funny position to be in. So you can prepare them You can say, hey, listen, Mr. and Mrs. Buyer, I know you want to request these items, yet I'm not optimistic that they're going to oblige to it. You can definitely ask for it. I encourage you, if it is a concern, definitely ask for it, yet I'm not optimistic they'll come back with a positive response. So, we're just going to wait for their yes, yes, no, no's, and we'll go from there. How does that sound? So it's kind of a weird position. I'll tell you what I don't like. I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name. What was your name? Helen? Okay. Yeah, I just can't multitask. I'll tell you what I don't like. And I'm not a listing agent. Most of the time, I'm definitely, I specialize in buyers. There are buyers agents and there are buyers out there. They know it's crazy. And as a strategy, this is a strategy by all means, they will say whatever they need to say. They will do whatever they need to do in order to obtain, only to come back later and make special requests. I'm not a fan of that. I don't like that. I don't think that in today's environment, there are many sellers and listing agents that would like that either. I don't encourage you to do that. I think it hurts your integrity level. And it goes back to what I said before. You're going to come across these agents in the future. It's going to leave a bad taste in their mouth. Don't do it. So do what you say what you do.
I agree. I wouldn't like it either. But have you had a deal fall through because of that?
I've had it go both ways. I've had deals fall through because of it, and I've also had deals move forward after it was done.
Okay.
So it could go both ways. You have to understand that there's different personalities involved, different situations, different moving parts, different factors. In every transaction, they're always different. Obviously, you have the husband and wife, different personalities. The buyer, husband and wife has different personalities. The attorneys, the agents. There's just so many different sense of urgencies, and they already left the house. They didn't leave the house. There's so many different moving parts in every transaction that it's really case by case. You have to look at it. So you can't just kind of generalize in those types of situations. Yet I would try to avoid those situations. Yet it does put us in a weird spot when we do represent the buyers, and that's exactly what they like to do. So the best we can do is prepare them for what happens next, or what to expect, what kind of response to expect. Let's keep going. What other items is the buyer giving up? What else are they conceding?
Appraisal.
Yeah, there you go. Actually, in today's market, many of these properties that are going 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, $120,000 over asking, there's a real concern in the back of the minds of the sellers and the listing agents. If you are not waiving your appraisal contingency, or if you are not capping it, you're probably not getting the house. Right? Let me give you an instance.